So today I wanted to talk about why you should not always put yourself first. Because I think in the spiritual space, certainly today, in kind of psychology or self help spaces, we hear a lot of stuff about protecting our energy, right? We hear people say, oh, you need to protect your energy. You need to put yourself first. And then, kind of when you're fully healed and so on, then you'll have the capacity to help other people. But for now, you need to kind of protect your energy, look after number one. And I feel the problem with this is that it becomes a form of spiritual bypassing where anytime people have something that's kind of difficult or uncomfortable that they don't really want to do, like maybe helping a friend who's not doing the best mentally or physically or whatever that thing might be, I feel people just say, oh, you know what, I need to protect my energy. I can't take anything else on right now. I'm kind of struggling myself. Now, that is, on one level, that is okay. Like, if you really are struggling either physically or mentally, of course, then you do need to take time out to heal. That is, everybody needs to take time out. You can't help somebody else when you're genuinely unwell and struggling yourself. But a lot of the time, people are saying, oh, I need to protect my energy, I need to look after myself, really as a way of avoiding those difficult and kind of uncomfortable situations where other people around you actually do need your help. And so that to me is not okay. Because, for one thing, I think helping people actually makes you feel good as well. Like, there's a lot of studies and evidence and so on to show that actually people need a sense of belonging in order to feel kind of happy. They need a sense of social belonging. And a lot of that sense of belonging does come from helping other people, like, unless you're just a complete psychopath, in which case I guess you're probably not watching this video because it's maybe not particularly helpful or relevant to your interests. But assuming that is not you, then it's not really always okay to say, oh, I just need to protect my energy. Oh, I can't help this other person right now. That is not always acceptable to say. It's sometimes acceptable to say. But we really know in our heart of hearts, we know deep down whether when we say that, we really don't have the energy to help anybody more. We don't have the energy for anything else. We know in our heart of hearts when that's true, and we know when it's not. And, just from what I'm observing in kind of society today, it seems that a lot of people are saying this when they really do have the capacity to help. They're just choosing not to help. So that's not the same thing. It's not always okay to put yourself first. It's not always in any circumstance okay to protect your energy and avoid anything that's uncomfortable that involves helping another person. That is not always okay. And we need to look at the way society is now and say that actually, as we look around and we see that things are becoming more authoritarian and people are starting to worry and think, well, if they just keep their heads down, if they just keep going and just look after themselves, they'll be okay. But that's not what's happening, is it? Like, when we look around, that is not what's happening. We're seeing that the more we kind of keep our heads down and just try and don't rock the boat, look after number one, the more we do that, the more we can see that kind of control is taken away from us, the people, and that we are more and more kind of driven into a certain direction, very much like the way a farmer was driving his animals in a certain direction. It's like we're being driven towards things without really having a lot of choice in them anymore. And a big reason for that is the fact that everybody is too focused on themselves and believing that if they just focus on themselves, they will be okay and be able to kind of win the rat race, essentially, and they will be able to flourish, and they don't have the time to worry about anybody else because they're too preoccupied with their own kind of journey. But of course, paradoxically, the issue there is that we would probably find it far easier, and we would have a lot more kind of power if we were working together. And if we were actually looking after people in our communities more and kind of caring about each other more, we would have a lot more power to push back against the things which we believe is unfair. Whereas now people look at kind of what's going on around them, people look at the issues that are unfolding in the world, and they say, well, there's nothing we can do about it. Oh, there's nothing I can do about it. And they have a sense of hopelessness. And the fact is, there is something that we can all do about it. But it begins with us not kind of resigning ourselves to a sense of hopelessness, to a sense of I cannot help. I am too busy. I am just in this situation where I cannot spare some of my time. I cannot do anything other than protect my own energy. And when we're in that kind of situation where we feel that the only thing we can do is try and help ourselves because no one else is going to help us, that is a very bleak kind of worldview. And when we have like a very bleak worldview where we're saying, well, no one else is going to help me, I just need to look after myself, that becomes like a very minimalistic kind of survival of the fittest worldview. And really, I think that we're better than that. Like, humanity is better than that. We have shown that we can, in the past, come together and solve some really difficult problems. And now it seems in the contemporary society that people have really swallowed this kind of idea of that you always need to look after yourself, you always need to protect yourself, and not noticed that when they've taken this idea on board, that is actually a divide and conquer methodology that's been projected onto you. Because you're being told you have to look after yourself. You can only look after yourself. You don't have time to look after other people. You have to protect yourself. And we're hearing this through all the self-help channels, psychology channels, all this kind of stuff. But paradoxically, that is making society more brutal and less kind of welcoming for us. Whereas if we actually were caring about each other a lot more, and we were saying, you know what, I do actually feel like I do need to protect my energy, I am really tired, blah, blah, but I'm still going to check in on my friend who's been unwell. Or I'm still going to do this one thing. I'm still going to do one thing that is a little bit uncomfortable every so often. It's not that you have to do it all the time, but just every so often, do the thing that's going to help someone else, even if it's going to be a bit awkward or sad or uncomfortable for you to do it. Just go ahead and do that thing, and you will feel better in yourself for having done it, for having helped someone else. And you will still be able to schedule plenty of time that you can help yourself, that you can protect yourself, that you can relax, that you can do all the things that we do also need to do. It doesn't have to be one or the other. So that's what I'm saying is, yes, by all means, protect yourself sometimes. Put yourself first sometimes. But don't make that your default position all the time, and don't believe that that is something that you should be doing all the time, and don't believe the people who tell you that it is something that's okay to be doing all the time. Because like I said, if we follow that to its conclusion, everyone is going to be very divided and very alone, and we're not going to be helping each other, and we're not going to be able to make a difference when it really matters.